expect you guys to mirror that back to me. But you're gonna mock me for that. That's right.
That was good.
Working on my Netflix special material tonight, so bear with me. I don't have a contract yet, but I got a vision board, so it's pretty much a done deal. So, man, I'll tell you what. Being a very straight white male is becoming so much more difficult these days. Wow, got quiet really quickly. Apparently white privilege is not a joke. No, I was in the break room the other day, and my buddy was there, and he was like, "Hey, you want some tea?" And I said, "That sounds marvelous." And he was like, "Do you want green or black?" And I said, "I want green, because I hate black." Just as Jamal walked into the break room, that did not go well. I was in the HR, taking, what's it called, sensitivity training, right? I did. A lot of people here like, fucking sensitivity training, I remember that. I see a lot of white faces here, that's not good. You guys are very in the closet about your sensitivity training, apparently. Speaking of white privilege, let's talk about climate change, shall we? We used to be called, what do we call it, global warming? Remember that? In the 80s it was global warming, now it's climate change. It's like, oh yeah, the dinosaurs couldn't change this shit, neither can we. Fuck it, let's get on climate change. But Americans still believe that we can fix that shit, right? I mean, climate change can be totally fixed by Americans, even though we're like 2% of the population of the United States, of the entire Earth. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm from Asheville, so I recycle, obviously, you know. I don't have dreads, but that doesn't mean I can't recycle. And, but I act locally and I think globally. So when I call Sprint and I get the customer service and he's like, "Yes, hello, my name is Bob." I'm like, "You're from India. Your name's not Bob." I'm like, "India has 1.4 billion people on it. Maybe I should start evangelizing about this global warming / climate change thing. I think they can affect it better than we can, right?" I think they can, so I'm like, "Do you recycle?" He's like, "What do you mean? What does it have to do with Sprint?" I'm like, "Listen, guy, you have to think locally, not globally. We here think globally and act locally because we're very American-centric. But there, you gotta think backwards." Speaking of thinking globally, did you guys hear about the Pope and the little incident he had with the lady that grabbed his arm? Anybody hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? So there's a YouTube video out there where he was like shaking this lady's hand and he was turning away from her and she grabbed his hand, 83-year-old, this guy's 83 years old, grabbed his, and he's like, "Ugh." And I'm like, she wouldn't let go. And he slapped her hand and the next day apologized for it. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody fucking grabs my hand like that, you'd be lucky if I don't shoot your ass. Because I fucking pack. I mean, I'm drinking tonight, so my concealed carry is kind of null and void, but he's got a lot of fucking people down the side, though. I'm surprised one of those Secret Service guys didn't take care of it, right? But, I mean, it's important for us to think about the Pope and all the things that happen with Christians. I think that with Christians, sometimes they get a bad rap, right? So I'm trying to overcome that a little bit. I feel like as a Christian myself, sometimes people hear I'm a Christian and they're like, "Oh, you must be a homophobe." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You must hate me." I'm like, "Sir, listen, I'll suck your dick right now." I mean, I was high at the time, and I mean, who hasn't wanted to suck a dick when they're high, right? What? I was smoking my own shit. All right, you guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Bring up the next